use some ample of time to practice it, right? I hope you have practiced it. It's very, very important to understand these concepts and all. So, any doubts in that? Just it's a very simple logic I have explained. This range function and all, how to slice this sequences. What are the basic rules to slice any given sequence like this? We have discussed, right? Okay. So the rules here's examples also I have given, and I shared this document also, right? So you can just refer this document and again you practice this. Just see how I have evaluated all this, right? So direction, whether to right to left or left to right. Okay. Then, so here, what are the basic rules, guys? The basic rules are very simple. Yeah. Okay. So first you need to check from the last argument, right? Here, the syntax of this slice operation is 3 arguments separated by 2 columns. First, to analyze from the last argument, which is the step value. Okay. First, check the sign value of the step. If it is positive, then you should consider left to right, forward direction. If it is negative, backward direction. Okay. Then, what is the stop value? First, check the step value, then see the stop value, right? And what is the start value? Accordingly, you need to find the range of that index. There are 2 different formula. Then you can see the range of index values. Then extract that subsequence from the given sequence. This is the procedure, right? So what are the default values? How to calculate those? Everything I have given. It's very important topic you should learn. So first you check the sign of the step value, right? Then what is the stop value? Then what is the start value? Use this. So it's one of the most important concepts in Python, guys. Now today we see looping control or iterative statements. Looping control statements in Python. Okay. So in Python language, we have 2 types of looping control statements, guys. One is the while, second one is for. We don't have any do while statement, right? Okay. So why there is no do while statement, I will discuss later. Yeah. So now first let us begin with this looping control statements. Okay. So if you want to execute statements, if you want to execute a sequence of statements repeatedly, okay, you want to execute some set of statements repeatedly. So then we use the looping control statements, right? Okay. So first we begin with the while statement. The while statement in Python. What is the syntax? The flow of execution. Okay. So looping means doing same task again and again, right? Clear? So sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need to execute some set of statements repeatedly until some specific conditions are met. Then we need the looping control statements, right? Decision making among several alternatives, you want to select one option. That is called decision making. Okay. But you are doing the decision making only one time, right? You run the program. If you give input, you are getting some output. So first, let us discuss what is the syntax of while statement, guys. While Boolean expression, colon, here just while suit. What is a suit? Already we know this. Here colon is mandatory. This syntax, everything I discussed, right? Here you have a keyword followed by a colon, that is called header, right? a sequence of one or more a sequence of one or more statements as a single unit with same indentation. That is called a suit. So this suit is controlled by this particular while. Okay. So colon indicates the beginning of the suit. What is a suit? A sequence of one or more statements with same indentation, that is called as a suit, right? So while Boolean expression colon while suit. This is the syntax, guys. This is one form of the while. There is another form also there. Okay, that is called while else. You can use while with else. Understand? While with else, for with else. So first, let us understand. Then we discuss that one, right? What is the flow of execution? As we are discussing statements, I follow the same approach. First one is the syntax of the while statement. Then what is the flow of execution of this while? Then some problems. We will solve some problems, right? This is the syntax of a while statement, guys. So this is one form of the while statement, right? So repeatedly execute a set of instructions based on the provided Boolean expression or the condition. Here, this Boolean expression, this is also known as a condition. Okay, we express the conditions using the Boolean expressions, right? How can you specify a condition in Python, guys, using the Boolean expressions? We know that, right? Just let me write. What is the purpose of this one? Repeatedly executes a set of statements or instructions based on a provided Boolean expression. Voice is getting low. Just yeah, now you please check my voice. It's clear now. Okay. Yeah. So repeatedly, this while statement, what it does is while statement repeatedly executes a set of instructions based on a provided condition or Boolean expression. Okay. Based on a provided Boolean expression or condition. Right? That is the while statement, guys. Here you can see Boolean expression. It evaluates to either true or false. We know that, right? First, we reach this while statement, right? First, the Boolean expression is evaluated. If it is true, the suit associated with this while, it gets executed for one time. Understand? Executing the suit for one time, it is called one iteration. Understand, guys? What is an iteration? Executing the suit once, that is called one iteration. Understand? So first, this Boolean expression is evaluated. If it is true, then the suit gets executed once. Understand? Again, the control goes to this Boolean expression. Again, this expression is evaluated. If it is true, again the suit gets executed. As long as the Boolean expression evaluates to true, the suit associated this while with this while, it gets executed. Okay. So that is called looping, guys. First, evaluate the expression. If it is true, execute the suit once. That is one iteration. Again, control goes to evaluation of this Boolean expression. If it is true, again this suit gets executed one more time. It keep on executing this suit as based on this Boolean expression value. That is called a loop control statement. Understand, guys? So, for example, if the Boolean expression is false, then what happens? The control, it comes out of this entire while loop. It continues the execution with the statement after this while. Understand, guys? This is called a while loop, right? This is the structure of the while loop. This is also known as structure of this while loop. So if the expression evaluates to false, control comes out of this entire this while structure and it continues the execution with the next statement. This thing already we discussed decision making also, right? So once the Boolean expression evaluates to false, then what happens? The loop terminates and control is transferred to the first statement after the while loop, guys. First statement after the while loop. Understood? Okay. So this is the simple while statement, guys. I hope this is clear. What is the while loop and how it is executed, right? As long as the Boolean expression is true, the while should in the loop they are executed. The Boolean expression evaluates to false. What happens? The loop is terminated and control goes to the next statement after the while loop. Understood? Very simple logic. Now let us just write one program to print first n natural numbers. Very simple problem I will discuss. Ideally, let me open the IDLE. Yes. We write a simple program. Yeah. Very easy, very simple problem. Yeah. New file. Here is a new file. Right. So I write a simple program to print first n natural numbers. Yeah, this is the purpose of this program, a comment line. Program to print first n natural numbers. This is my program, guys. Right. So now identify how many inputs are required. So you want to print first n natural numbers. Let us say, what are the first 5 natural numbers, guys? First 5 natural numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First 5 natural numbers. What are the first 10 natural numbers, guys? So starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 8, 9, and 10, guys. So these are the first 10 natural numbers, right? These are the first 5 natural numbers. So I want to write a program. So I give input n value. It can be 5 or it can be 10. Then it prints the first n natural numbers. This is the program. So how many inputs are required for this, guys? Only one input is required. Only one input is required, guys. So let us take the input from the user. Enter the value of n. Enter the value of n, right? So user enters the value, but by default it returns in the form of a string, right? That's why first let us convert this into integer, because first 10 natural numbers we want to print. N should be integer, right? First 5 natural numbers, first 10 natural numbers. Here the input value is a integer. That's why you are converting into integer. Just assign that value to a variable, guys. Assign that value to a variable, right? This is input logic. It is over, right? Next, the actual business logic I need to write. Okay. Here just I write simple logic. Variable a variable I equal to 1. I am defining a variable I is equal to 1. Here just while loop, while Boolean expression I less than or equal to n, I less than or equal to n, colon. Here parenthesis is not mandatory, guys. If we have some very complex expression here, then you can use parenthesis, but it's very simple, so I'm not using. If you wish, you can use it, not an issue, right? Now just you print I value, print I value. Here this I is called loop control variable. Understand, guys? I is called as a loop control variable because the loop, whether it should be executed or it should be terminated, that is decided by the value of I. Am I right or wrong? You can see here you are comparing the I value with n, right? In each iteration you are comparing this I with n. Now the loop execution or the loop termination, that is controlled by I. Do you agree? That's why I is known as loop control variable. So one convention in this developing the programs, loop control variables always we take a single variable. Okay, I, j, k like that, right? So here print I, this is the suit. And one thing is important when you are writing the while loop. First, you have to make sure that initialization of the loop control variable. That is the first task. Here, what is the first value, starting value? That is 1. For example, you want to print n natural numbers. What is the first value? 1, right? That is the initial value. Then the condition or the expression. The expression should contain this control variable, guys. Understand? Then updation of the loop control variable. Updation means either increment or decrement you should do. Understand? This is a very common mistake done by many programmers, guys. They just forget this one. If they forget this one, it go on infinity, right? So I equal to I plus 1 or I plus 1, I plus is equal to 1. You can write like that. But I plus plus, it is invalid, guys. I plus plus you should not use. Okay. I plus plus, this is invalid. I minus minus is invalid. Okay. Because pre-increment, pre-decrement, post-increment, post-decrement operators are not valid in Python, guys. Okay. But the expressions may be valid. For example, you can see plus plus I. Is it a pre-increment operator? Minus minus I. Minus 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 I. Are they valid or invalid in Python, guys? Is somewhat logical questions. So these are not pre-increment or pre-decrement. Just they are representing the sign. That's it. Minus 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 I means minus of I, guys. This is the meaning. Understood? Okay. What is minus 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 I? So minus of I. How the Python interpreter it will understand that. This is just to represent the sign, guys. Minus of I, which is equal to minus I only. Minus of minus I, which is equal to plus I only. Plus plus I, that is obviously I only, plus I only. This is representing the sign, that's it. Okay. Got it. But they are not the pre-increment or pre-decrement. When they are testing your coding skills and all, they may give some problem like this. Okay, don't get confused. You should not increment the I value, guys. Understand? But these are legal. These expressions are valid. But these expressions are not valid. I plus plus, I minus minus. These are not valid, guys. Okay, you can check. If you wish, you can check. Okay, this is your self-learning activity. Understood? This is your self-learning activity. Yes, you take some I value, use these expressions in the Python interpreter and check it. Okay, but these are not the any increment decrement operators that I want to discuss. Okay, in the very Python basics, somebody asked this. What about increment decrement? I told them that I will discuss later. This is the explanation, guys. Okay, remember. They may use in some expressions also this one. What will be the output? Okay, don't get confusion. Don't increment or decrement, guys. Understood? I equal to I plus 1. You can write I plus is equal to 1. So this is a simple loop. That's it. Right? Now save this file. Natural numbers. Natural numbers, right? That's it. Go to the run menu. First, let us see the output, guys. Enter the value of I and 5. I am getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see print statement what it does, guys. It prints that variable value, immediately takes the cursor to the next line. Right? That's what it is doing. So that what I want to do is, I want to print all these output values in a single line. Okay, but I need some space, 2 space here. Then how to modify this print statement? Another form of the print. Already discussed 3 different forms of print statement, right? Output statement. Now just I will change it. After printing the I value, end character should not be /n. /n means what? New line. After printing a variable value, the cursor, it takes the cursor to the next line, but I don't want to do that. And should be 2 space or 1 spaces, 1 space or 2 space. That's it. Now you check the output, guys. Logic I will explain later. First, let us understand how this print statement is working. Same value I will give 5. Now you see, cursor is not taken to the next line, right? First it prints the I value 1, then 2 spaces. Again, it prints I value, again 2 space, 3, 4, 5, like that. Understand? You can get the output like that. Okay, that's about the print statement. Now this is my output. Now let us check. Now trace out this program, guys. Okay, every program you have to trace out. So for this loops and all, to analyze these loops and all, we use iterative charts. Okay, iteration charts. Okay. So how to construct the iteration charts, iteration diagrams, I will discuss now. Now let us understand. This is the input logic, right? This is the input logic. So it prints enter the value of n. This statement is prompting the message, prompt the user to enter the value. So I enter 5. Okay. Now this value is assigned to n, right? This is our input logic. Then what is happening, guys? Then what is happening? Okay. Then what's happening? Let us see. What are these unnecessary messages? Okay. Now what is happening? Let me check. Just I will copy this code into the notepad. Yeah, I will copy it. Simple example. Right. Now what is happening here? So first input logic, it is over. What is the initial value of 5? So first you have defined a variable, right? Now I value will be 1. I value will be 1, right? This is the initial value. So what is the condition you are checking? I less than or equal to n. What is the n value, guys? What is the n value? First you need to write these values, guys. N equal to, in this example, in this first test case, I give 5, right? Okay. You can see here. First, you just initialize the input, and this is called dynamic input, guys. You are taking some value, assigning to the variable. This is called dynamic input. So, and what are the loop control variables you are initializing? Any intermediate variables, that's also you can write here. In every iteration, how they are updating, you should update that. That is the iteration diagrams, iteration charts. Okay, you can make it in the tabular format. I don't want to make it very complex. So, what is the condition you are checking? Condition I am writing here. You can make it as a table, guys. Make it as a table. Yeah, that's how you need to do that. Iteration diagrams. Okay. So this is the standard approach to learn the programming, guys. If you need more details on, there is a book called book written by John R. Hubbard, professor from Harvard University. The programming concepts. Okay, you can refer that. So now this is our scenario, because what is the first test case, guys? We are providing 5, right? Good. Just now you see what is happening internally. N is 5. Initially, I value is 1, right? So control reaches to this while loop, because here you can see this statement is executed. After that, the next statement, this gets executed. Okay. So if there are any control statements, then only the flow changes. Otherwise, by default, sequential flow. Already I told you this, right? Otherwise, the flow will be a sequential flow. That's why here first the statement gets executed, then the statement gets executed, right? Now control reaches to this beginning of the while loop. Are you clear, right? Now you check I less than or equal to n. Okay. What is the I value, guys? I is 1. 1 less than or equal to 5. Is it true or false? That's right. Initially, I value is 1. 1 less than or equal to 5. This is the condition, right? Is it true or false? Is it true or false? This is true, because this is a Boolean expression, right? Boolean expression, right? It evaluates the true or false. Now, what is the flow of execution? If the expression evaluates to true, then the suit gets executed once. Am I right? This is the suit, right? This is the while suit. So the suit gets executed. Executing the suit means execute this statement, then execute this statement, right? That is the suit. So now print I end equal to something, right? What is the output? I will write this output. For each iteration, print the I value. What is the I value, guys? 1. I value is 1, right? Then I equal to I plus 1. You are updating the I value. Updating the I value. What is the I value? 1, 1. Now 1 plus 1 equal to 2. Again, you are assigning to the same variable I. In this case, what happens? Can I strike off 1, guys? Can I write 2? Is it valid, legal in Python? No, because immutability. So first you have assigned I equal to 1. If you want to update this value, then what happens? A new object gets created. I will refer to the object. Am I right or wrong? I hope you remember that, right? That's why don't strike off this 1, guys. Just I write 2. Now I will refer to. That's what I am interpreting. Are you getting? Otherwise, I will do one thing. Says I will write 2 here. Any doubt? Now I is going to refer to. Right? I can write here also. If you don't get confusion, you can write here also. Okay. Separate objects, guys. 1 is separate object, 2 is separate. That's why I'm not using any strike of this one. Okay. I hope now you are clear. Yes. Now what we have done? Just we are analyzing. First, check the condition. I less than or equal to n. Initially, I equal to 1. 1 less than or equal to 5. This is true. So this suit gets executed once. So print the I value, which is 1. Then update the I value. I equal to I plus 1. So now I refers to this 2. Understand? So once the control reaches to the last statement in the while suit, then immediately control goes to the Boolean expression, guys. Understood? So one iteration completed. What is an iteration, guys? Executing the suit one time. That is called one iteration, right? When I equal to 1, one iteration takes place. Are you getting? These are all pure technical terms. You remember, guys. Understand? I hope this is clear. Once the control reaches to the last statement of this suit, then immediately control goes to the condition, right? To check the condition. I hope you are clear. I hope you are clear. Now, first I equal to 1, 1 less than or equal to 5. Execute the suit once, print the I, update the I value. Again, control goes to this condition check. Now tell me what is the I value, guys. Always when you are using any variable in your expression, always it will get you the most recent one. Understand? Most recent value. So what is the value? Updated value? 2, right? That's why in the second iteration, I value will be 2. It is not 1. Is it clear? This is a somewhat logical concept in this. And is one type of parameter here. By default, and value is /n. That's why it prints the value, it takes the cursor to the next line. But I want to change it. You can use tab also here, /t, or you can use some number of space. Okay. So and is a parameter of this print state. Print is a function, right? Here it takes many parameters. This is also one argument or parameter. It is also one argument. That's what the end. Clear? Because I want to print in a single line output. That's why. By default, print function, it prints a value, takes the cursor to the next line. Automatically, it prints a new line because by default, the end value is /n. But I want the end value is the space. That's why. Got it? Now, in the second iteration, I equal to 2. 2 less than or equal to 5. This is true. Then what happens? Again, execute the suit once. Again, execute the suit once. Print the I value. What is the I value? I value is 2. Now, I equal to I plus 1. So, I plus 1 means 2 plus 1, which is equal to 3. Again, control goes to this Boolean expression check, right? Now, again, you are comparing I with n. Now, this time, what is the I value, guys? I value will be 3. All of you are clear? I value is 3, right? Now, 3 less than or equal to 5. Check this condition. Is it true? Yes, it is true. Again, execute the suit once. Understood? What is the I value? Print the I value, which is equal to 3. Then update the I value, I plus 1. Now I value will be 4. I value will be 4. Now again control goes to this Boolean expression. Now check the I value is equal to 4. 4 less than or equal to 5. This is true. Again execute the suit once. Execute the suit once. Print the I value which is equal to 4. Then update the I value I plus 1 which is equal to 5. Right? So once control reaches the end of this suit, again control goes to condition check. Right? Now I am comparing I and n. What is the I value? I value is 5. Now check this condition. 5 less than or equal to 5 is true or false? This is also true. Again execute the suit once. Understand? Again execute the suit once. Now print the I value which is equal to 5. Print the I value which is equal to 5. And update the I value by 1. Right? So 5 plus 1 which is equal to 6. Again check the condition. I less than or equal to n. This time what is the I value, guys? 6. 6 less than or equal to 5, which is nothing but false, which is equal to false. So when the expression evaluates to false, then what happens? This loop terminates and control goes to the next statement after this particular while statement. Right? Next statement after the while. Okay. So after this while, there is no other statement. That's why simply it terminates. All of you are clear? So this is the flow of execution of while statement, guys. Very simple logic. Okay. So I is the loop control variable. There is initial value I equal to 1. So n value you are providing the input. Okay. First, it checks the condition. If I less than or equal to n, then execute the suit once. Once the suit gets executed, again control goes to this condition, right? Condition check. Again, it will check I value with n. If it is true, again execute this suit once. So this process continues, okay, until and unless this condition becomes false. Any doubt in this flow of execution? Okay. This is what a while loop is. All of you are clear? Just you can trace out this one, guys. That's it. How it is changing, what are those values and all. That's it. I hope you are okay with this while loop. Any questions? You can please raise. That's about the looping control called while loop. Okay. While loop, but there is no do while loop. Okay. There is no do while loop, guys. Okay. Because do while loop, whatever logic you can write with do while, you can write using while loop. Understand? That's why again it's not required. Another structure is not required. Do while. Can you give me an example where I cannot write the logic using while and you can write using do while? Any programming problem like that? No. Right? Yeah, only two loops, guys. That's why Python is easy. One is while, second is for. That's it. There are no other loop control. Okay. So you can change the logic to make it as entry control, exit control. Okay. Actually, this is called entry control loop, guys, because in the beginning, in the loop beginning, you are checking the condition, right? This is called entry control. You can change it to exit control, just simply writing some logic. Okay. So that's about the while loop. All of you are clear, I hope, about the while or any other. Using while and for. Yes, for loop syntax you need to understand first, then I will talk about that, because this for loop is different from other languages for loop, guys. Okay. Python for loop is different from other programming language for loop. Okay. How we can achieve that in Python? You can achieve it. How? Because first time when you reach this loop, this condition always it should be true. Like that you change it. After that you can update some variables or something for the next time. Because whether the expression is true or false, at least one time you need to execute this loop, right? That's why here write some condition that is always true for the first time. Understand, guys? That's how you need to change the logic. That's what I'm saying. According to the given problem, you need to write a loop, okay, where always at the very first time this should be true. Later on in this suit, you do some updations of those, so that from second time onwards, it will evaluate that one. Understand? For first iteration, it should execute without irrespective of the truth value of the expression, right? For the first time, always the expression should be true. From the subsequent, in the next subsequent times, it should work. Like that, you need to do some modifications. Here, when you are writing this condition, you should make sure that that should be true for the very first time. Then automatically, while so it is equivalent to do a loop, right? That you should think the logic and write it. Understand? That's what they do in this. Okay. This is okay. While loop, you're clear, I hope. So in my assignment problems, I have given some questions on this loops and all. You can try it. You can try that. Now let us understand the for loop, guys. I hope while loop is clear to all. Now let us discuss the syntax of for loop. Okay. Actually, while loop, in which type of programming scenarios we use while loop, guys? Generally, while loop we use for executing a loop for unknown number of times. Okay. Using while loop for the input validations. These are the two use cases, guys. Okay. When do we use book name? Mark Summerfield. Yeah, this about loops and all, John R. Hubbard. Programming, I think he has written that book for C language or something. John R. Hubbard, you can type it. Mark Summerfield is for Python, guys. SUMMER, Summerfield, that is for Python. That's very good book. Okay, guys, when should I use while loop? So if you want to execute the loop for unknown number of times, then while loop. You don't know prior to the execution of the loop, you don't know how many times that loop will execute. Okay, there is no fixed time, fixed number of iterations. Okay, if there are no fixed number of iterations, then you can use the while loop. Okay, generally input validations until unless you provide the correct value. I keep on asking, enter the right value, enter the correct value. Can you say how many iterations it takes? You cannot say. Am I right or wrong? That type of scenarios we use the while loop, guys. Actually, execute a loop for unknown number of times, guys. Is it clear? Okay. Generally, menu-driven programs. Here, there is no switch case in Python, right? There is no switch case. If you want to write a menu-driven program, okay. For example, I display a menu with 4 or 5 options. Okay. So until and unless the user selects the 5th option, which is exit option, we should keep on displaying the menu and perform those operations. Understand? That is nothing but executing the loop for unknown number of times. Generally, these menu-driven programs and all, the program it should execute, okay, for unknown number of times, as well as for input validation logic, it should execute for unknown number of times. If there is a fixed number of iterations, if you don't have any fixed, you don't know the number of iterations it takes, then we use the while loop. I hope you are clear. These 3 types of program scenarios we use the while loop, guys. Understand? There are some examples on that. I will give you. Okay. I hope you are clear now. While loop. Now let us understand the for loop, guys. Let us first complete a very simple explanation, the syntax and simple programs. Then we will go with that. Okay. Other examples. For loop, guys. For loop. In Python, for loop is different from other languages. Please focus. Okay. A for loop is an iterative control. We know. Iterate once for each element in a specific sequence. Understand? Iterate. This is the definition of for loop, guys. This is not like other programming language. Okay. So iterates once for each element in a specific sequence. Specified sequence case. Okay. Sequence of elements. This is the for loop definition, right? Iterates once for each element in a specified sequence of elements. That means in the for loop, you have to use one sequence case. Sequence means strings, lists, tuples. Those are called sequences of Python. Sequence means they maintain some ordering. First element, second element, third element, like that, there is some order. Range is also a sequence, right? Already we discussed one sequence. What is that? Range. Range is a sequence, right? Range generates a sequence of integers, right? So like that, there is a list of values. It maintains some order. That is called a sequence. Sequence means ordering is maintained. That is called a sequence, guys. Understand? So in for loop, it is mandatory. You should specify one sequence, guys. Sequence is nothing but collection of elements, right? For each element on the sequence, one iteration. It executes the suit once. That is the for loop. Understand? Anyway, I will give some example. First, let us write the syntax, guys. For what is the syntax? For k in sequence colon for suit. For suit. That's it. Understand? What is for suit? A sequence of one or more statements with the same indentation. You know what is the suit. This is the definition of the for loop, guys, in Python. Understand? For each k in the sequence. A sequence is nothing but a collection of elements, right? A sequence is nothing but collection of items with some ordering, which maintains some ordering, guys. Understand? For each element in the sequence, iterate once, right? For each element in the sequence, execute the suit once. Iteration means what, guys? I told you what is an iteration. Executing the suit once, that is called one iteration. For each element in the sequence, iterate once. That is called for loop. I hope you have understood, right? I think you are clear. For example, I will just write one example. Program to print the values of a given list. Okay. Program to print values of a specific list of integers. I give one list of integers and you need to print each element in the list. Okay. You want to print the values of a specific list of integers. This is a program. So I write the for loop just for sake of your understanding. First, let us define the list, guys. Numbers is equal to, a list is nothing but collection of items, guys. The representation is the square brackets. Okay. So just I have 5 elements, 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. There are 5 elements in this list. Okay. 5 elements in the list. Now I want to print these elements using the for loop, guys, right? For each k in nums, what I want to do, simply I will print that particular k value. Okay, that's very simple logic. Okay, print the values of a specific list of integers, guys. This is my program, right? This is my program. Just I will execute this code. Save this one, save it, run it. Yeah, you can see 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 you're getting. 10, 20, 30, and 40, right? Yeah, very simple logic. If you want to print in a single line, what you need to do, guys? Here, and is equal to tab. I can use and is equal to. Somebody asked this question. Now you check. I hope you will be very clear. and is equal to t. Again, just save this one. If I don't give and is t, then what happened? You can check 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Here, after printing each value, and character is not /n, it is /t. That's why you are getting one tab space here. Understand? Otherwise, I will do one thing. I don't use and argument. Just I run this code. You check what is the output, guys. Run this module. By default, and argument is /n. That's why you are getting 10, 20, 30, 40 like that. Now, what I will use here, just and is equal to space. I am using and is equal to single space or double space. That is your wish. You can give anything. Now, again, I will save this file. Go to the run menu and run this module, guys. Now you see the difference. By default, and is equal to /n, guys. That's why it prints the new line. You can change it using the and argument. You pass the value to the argument, right? You need 2 spaces, then use 2 space here. That's it. Or /t, you can use /t. Any doubt? Right? That's it. This is about the for loop. What is the flow of execution of the for loop, guys? Very easy, very simple logic. So here, for each element in the sequence, iterate once. That's it. Each element of the sequence, you iterate once. Good. First, let us see what happens here. What is the flow here? Just I will explain. What are the values of nums, guys? Nums is nothing but 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, right? Just I will use it here. Okay. This is called a sequence because order is maintained, guys, by means of index. How the ordering is maintained? Using the index. Already range I discussed it, right? Same thing. Element at 0, first element, second element, third element, fourth. Index 4. Index starts from 0. Negative indexing also possible, guys. A list is a collection of items separated by comma, enclosed within the square brackets. This is called list structure, guys. So list is ordered, guys. Here, first element at 0th position, second element at first position, like that. Okay. Here, what is the length of this one? Length of the sequence. Length of the list. Length. How can you find total number of elements in this list, guys? Length, len function. It returns the number of elements in the sequence, guys. How many number of elements? 5 elements. Understood? 5 elements. Index is from 0 to 4 only because index starts from 0, right? Always the maximum index will be length minus 1. Already we discussed in the slice operation also, right? Length is a function. It returns the number of elements in the sequence, guys. Understand? The indexing is first index 0, last index will be length minus 1. Understood? Any doubt? Clear, guys? Now how the for loop it executes, guys? Very simple. First 10 is assigned to k, guys. K equal to 10. Understand? Because for each element in the sequence, iterate once. That is the for loop, right? So first element is assigned to this k. Here it doesn't matter whatever variable you may use. Here you can use unnamed variable underscore also. Understand? And identifiers concept I told you. You can use unnamed variables where in this scenario you can use because it doesn't matter what is the variable name here. Understand? So first 10 is assigned to k. Execute the suit once because for each element in the sequence iterate once. That is called the for loop, right? So first 10 is assigned to k, then execute the statement print k. So then in the output you will get the output what you are getting, guys. First you will get 10, right? Then 2 spaces because and is equal to 2 space, right? So again control goes to this beginning of the loop, guys. Understand? Is it clear? First assign the element to this variable, then execute the suit once, then control goes to the beginning of this loop. That is the for loop execution, right? Again, one iteration finished, then 20 is assigned to k. Then 20 is assigned to k, guys. Understand? K equal to 20. Assign 20 to k, right? Now execute the suit once, print the k value. That means in the output you will get 20, guys. Then control goes to the beginning of the loop. Then assign the next element to k. All of you are getting what is the flow? K equal to what? 30 guys. Understand? Now execute this statement, print the k value. Then it prints the value 30. Now again control goes to the beginning of the loop guys. Assign the next statement. What is the next element? K equal to 40. K equal to 40. Again execute this print statement. Right? Now 40 gets printed. 40 gets printed guys. Now control goes to the beginning of the loop. Assign 50 to k. Right? K is equal to what? 50 guys. And then execute the suit once. Print the value of k. It prints the value 50 here. Now again control goes to the beginning of the loop. Understand? Now is there any other statement, any other element to assign k? No, right? There is no more elements in the list to assign it to k, right? Then what happens? The loop terminates. Control comes out of this particular loop, guys. Understand? Control comes out of the loop. After assigning all these values, there are no more elements to assign. Then automatically it stops the execution. Understand? Stops the execution. So otherwise, if there is an empty list, then also it will stop. If the sequence is empty, or if for all the elements in the sequence, if iterations are finished, then automatically the loop will terminate. That is called a normal termination of the loop. Here, two things you should remember. One is normal, second one is abnormal termination of the loop. Understand? So when do you say that normal termination? When do you say that abnormal termination in the for loop, guys? Right? Normal termination means for each element in the sequence, all the iterations are completed. Okay. For each element, it iterates once. Okay. For all the elements, if it iterates, then that is a normal termination of the loop. Understand? Okay. So for some reasons, if it cannot execute for all the elements, then that is abnormal termination. Okay. The two things you should remember. Okay. In while loop also, you may have normal termination and abnormal termination, right? Either in while loop or for loop. If all iterations are completed, then that is called normal termination, right? That is called complete execution of the loop. Understood, guys? Complete execution of the loop. I hope for loop is clear now. Just let us check what will be the output for this. Very simple logic, right? Just file, go to the file menu, save it and run it, guys. Save it and run it. You can see here. Same output, 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50 you are getting. Just I go to run menu again. Just I run the module. You see, guys, what is the output? 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. That is the output. Okay. Here, the number of elements, they are fixed, right? Either it may be a list or a string. The size is finite. Am I right? The size is finite. That means how many times the suit gets executed, that you can determine. You can determine how many number of times the suit gets executed. For example, here there are 5 elements, so that you can say that prior to the execution of the loop, you can determine how many number of times the suit gets executed, right? That means the number of iterations are fixed. Then you can use the for loop, guys. But in while loop, though you can use for this, if the number of iterations are fixed, right, then you can use while loop or for loop, doesn't matter. But in case of unknown number of times you want to execute, or how many number of times you need to execute the suit, if you don't know prior to the execution, then you must use while loop only. Okay. That's why you have 2 loops, because that type of scenario you cannot handle with for loop. That's why there are 2 loops. Otherwise, there would have been only 1 loop only, right? Now I think I answered your questions, and flow of execution also I have discussed, right? Any questions or any queries? Anybody? Please type in the chat window. I will answer, right? Is it clear? Okay. Good. For each loop, Yeah, this is similar to that Java for each loop. Yes. In Java, you have for each loop, right? Same thing. It is also like same. Can you rewrite this program using a while loop, guys? Using while loop, can you write this same? You can write it. Very simple. Okay. You can try it. Can you rewrite this code using while loop, guys? Can you write it? Use the while loop. While loop for the same program. How can you rewrite the code, guys? Can anybody guess? Very simple. I will rewrite this code. You analyze the code, guys. Analysis is very important, right? K is initially 0. I take K is 0. While K less than length of NUMS, just I will print. Which while I need to print, guys? Nums of K, element at kth position. Simply just K equal to K plus 1. This is the logic, guys. Okay. For each loop. Here just this is the for each loop, right? The for loop itself is for each loop Python. For each item, for each means what? For each element in the sequence, iterate once. That is called for each. That's it. Terminology just that one. K equal to K plus 10. K plus 10, then it will print only one value, because K value is 0. You can print first element. After that, K 10 plus 0, K value will be 10. It won't print it because this condition is false. Understand? Because you can see, guys, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? First, I take the index values, I print the elements at the index, guys, using the while loop. Because in while loop, it will not assign the value to the variable, right? But I need to print all these values. These are all ordered, right? That's why what I am doing here, I take the index values of the elements and I iterate through the index values. Then just I will print the elements at the index. Just think logically. Are you clear? Why I am using index here? Because these elements will not be assigned to the variable in the while loop. That's why what I have done, I know that 0 to length minus 1. That is the value range of index, right? First element is 0, last element is length minus 1. That's why what I am doing here. I initialize a variable K. Now I check the condition. It should be less than length of the sequence. What is the length of this one? 5. That's why index will be 0 to 4. That's why I'm using this condition, K less than length of NUMS. Otherwise, I can write K less than or equal to length of numbers minus 1. You can write in multiple ways, guys. Understand? This is called as the stepping. K equal to K plus 1, that is called stepping. But it should not be 10. It should be 1, right? Initial K is 0. After that, K should be 1. After that, K should be 2, 3, and 4. I print the element at the kth index. Still any questions? I hope I am clear, right? Any doubt? How I am going to iterate that one and all? Still any questions in this? Please. That means whatever logic I am writing here, you can see for loop. I directly that will assign this value, and I'm printing this one. Okay. If you want to rewrite this code using while loop, you need to just write this one. Okay. Write this one. Yes. Slightly the logic is different, right? Logic is different here. This logic and this logic, they are different, guys. Okay. Slightly different. Another approach, we are following some other approach according to the while syntax. Anybody, any other questions? Just analyze once, guys. Very simple. Nothing. Yeah, while else, for else, that I will discuss. Before that, you need to learn nested loops. Okay. So just we discuss nested loops. Then we go for the loop transfer statements. Finally, we learn the while else and for else. That is the order where. Is it okay? Nesting of loops. Nested loops. Okay, next. So any programming language, guys, it may be C or Java or whatever you may name it. This is the order you should learn the concepts. Then it will be very clear. Okay. So I also learned in the same order so that every concepts will be clear with from basics, right? That's what I want to explain you. From very basic concepts, you should understand all this, right? Okay. Here, what is the output, guys? Let me write the output. Output is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Same output for either while or for same output. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Now let us discuss the nesting of loops, guys. I will give one simple learning activity also. This nested loops to the self-learning. I think in every session I will give some self-learning activity that you should dedicate your time and do that. Okay. I don't want to explain everything. Nested loop means very simple. One loop within another loop is called as nesting. Understand? We have nested if else, right? Like loops also you have nested loops, guys. Understand? What are nested loops? One loop within another loop. One loop within another loop is called nesting of loops. Nesting of loops, right? For example, two loops can be nested. Three loops can be any number of loops you can nest. The nesting depth can be any depth, guys. The depth can be 2 or 3 or anything. Okay. But a loop within another loop is the nested loop. That's it. Very simple definition. Understand? Very simple definition, guys. A loop within another loop is the nested loop. Let me explain with a simple program. Program to illustrate nested for loops, right? So just I am using for loop. You can use any loop. While loops also nested you can do. For each I in the sequence 1, 2, right? So whatever I write here, that is the for suit. Do you agree? Because I am maintaining some indentation, right? Here I am maintaining some indentation. So whatever I write the statements here, that is the suit of this for loop. Do you agree? Yes. Here I am not writing simple print statement or something. Here again I use one more for loop, guys. For j in 1, 2, 3 need not to be same. It can be of different length, guys. Okay. Colon. Now I write some statement here. Now tell me, guys, this is part of which for loop suit? This for loop suit. Am I right? If I maintain some indentation here, that's why indentation is very, very important here. You can see. So if I write some statement here, this is the control of this for loop. This is under the control of this for loop, right? So here simply I will use print. I want to print what is the I value and what is the j value. I equal to j equal to. Just I want to print I value, j value, guys, right? You can see I want to print some message along with some value. Then I use this type of print statement. Understood, guys? Okay, right? Now tell me, here first you have a for loop, guys. This is called outer loop. This is called what? Outer loop. This is called outer loop, guys. Understand? Outer loop. And what about this one? So this for loop is part of the suit of outer loop. Do you agree? This whole thing is the suit of outer for loop, right? Suit means a sequence of statements. That's it. It can be any statement. Always we don't write only print statement or increment or decrement like that. It can be anything. Okay. So that's why this is called inner loop. This is called inner loop. This is a part of suit of outer loop, right? This is the part of suit of outer loop. And what about this one? This print statement is in the suit of inner loop, guys. In the suit of inner loop. Are you getting these terminologies? Okay. Clear? Good. Now, what is the flow of execution, guys? What is the flow of execution? So execution is very simple. For each I value, execute the suit once. Understand? You know that first one is assigned to I, then execute the suit once. Again, control goes to the beginning of the loop. Then 2 is assigned to I, again executes the suit. Same thing. Here also done the same thing, right? All of you are clear, guys? First assign the value to this variable, execute the suit once. Again, control goes to the beginning of the loop. It then assigns the next element. Again, execute the suit once. Same thing I am doing here. First assign 1 to I, execute the suit once. Executing the suit once means execute the whole for loop here. Again, control goes to beginning of this one. Assign 2 to I, execute the suit once. Right? For each iteration of the outer loop, complete execution of the inner loop. Can you say that? Guys, are you clear? For each iteration of the outer loop, the complete execution of the inner loop once. That is the nested loop execution procedure. Understand? When I is 1, J takes the value 1, 2, 3. Because for each iteration of the outer loop, complete execution of the inner loop. When do you say that inner loop completely executed? For J1, execute this one. Again for J2, execute this one. Again for J3, execute this one. I told you this definition. When do we say that the loop has been executed completely? The loop executes completely. When do we say that the loop executes completely? For each value of the sequence, the suit is executed once. Then we say that complete execution of that particular loop. That means when I is 1, J equal to 1, J equal to 2, J equal to 3, execute this one. When I equal to 2, again J equal to 1, J equal to 2, J equal to 3. That is the flow of execution, guys. Any doubt in this? Because in coding round, they will give you some standard questions, guys, like printing the some patterns as well as evaluating the series. These are the very popular kind of coding problems. Okay, in control statements, they will ask this. For that, you need to understand this flow. Okay, first, I equal to 1, right? I equal to 1. First, assign 1 to I, right? Then execute the suit once. That means execute this for loop once, right? When I is 1, first J is 1 is assigned to J. J equal to 1, guys. When I equal to 1, assign J equal to 1 and print this value. Print the I value and J value. Print the I value and J value. Now tell me what is the I value and J value, guys? What is the I value and J value? So I equal to 1 and J equal to 1. This will be the output. Any doubt? Are you clear, guys? Getting anything difficulty? This is our output. This is our output, guys. Right? Output I will write here. Output I will write here. I equal to 1, J equal to 1. Any questions? First, 1 is assigned to I, guys. 1 is assigned to I. Then complete execution of this inner loop once. That is the logic. For each iteration of the outer loop, complete execution of the inner loop. Right? First, 1 is assigned to I. So it should execute the loop completely. Right? That's why 1 is assigned to J and execute the suit of the inner loop. This is the suit of the inner loop, right? Print statement. I print I value 1, J value 1. Okay. Now, where does the control go now? So you are in the inner loop execution. That's why once this suit gets executed, control goes to the beginning of this particular loop. Is it clear? Now, J equal to 2. 2 is assigned to J, right? 2 is assigned to J. So now again, 2 is assigned to J. Print this I value, J value. Just I will print I equal to again 1. Still I is 1. J equal to what? 2. I is 1 and J is 2. Right? I is 1 and J is 2. Okay. I is 1 and j is 2. I equal to 1 and as well as j equal to 2, guys. So now again, control goes to the beginning of the loop, j equal to 3. Now it takes the value j equal to 3, j equal to 3. Now execute the suit once, print I value, j value. Still I equal to 1, j value will be 3. J equal to what? J equal to 3, guys. Now again, control goes to the beginning of the loop. Here there are no more elements are left. That means the loop has been executed, right? The loop completes all its iteration. Then where does this control go? Once this inner loop execution is finished, again control goes to the beginning of the outer loop, guys. Understand? Beginning of the outer loop. Now tell me, in the outer loop, for I equal to 1, the inner loop completely executed. After that, 2 is assigned to I. Outer loop second iteration it is taking, right? When I equal to 2, again execute the suit once. Okay, executing this suit means execute the for loop once. Now what happens here? Again, j takes the value 1, j equal to 1. So when j equal to 1, print this I value, j value. Understand? Now you will get I equal to 2 and j equal to 1, guys. Understand? I equal to 2 and j equal to 1. Again, control goes to the beginning of the inner loop. J equal to 2, guys. J equal to 2. Now again execute this print statement. I equal to 2, right? J equal to 2. Equal to 2, j equal to 2. Again control goes to the beginning of this inner loop. Again 3 is assigned to j equal to 3, guys. Again execute the suit once. So I equal to 2, then j equal to 3. Okay. Again control goes to the beginning of the loop. No elements are left here. That's why it has completed its execution. Again control goes to the beginning of the outer loop. There are no more elements in the sequence. That's why its execution also finished. Then control comes out of this entire for loop, guys. This is the flow of execution of this nested loop. I hope it's clear. Okay. Yeah. So then we will stop here for today. Then we will continue on Monday, the remaining topics. Okay. Yeah. I will share this file, just analyze this code, guys. Then we can